Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on The Flash Season 3. So as we know, throughout the first episode of this season of The Flash, we were within the Flashpoint timeline where multiple things were different. But in regards to this video, the most important thing to take from it was that even though Barry had his speedster powers, he wasn't the speedster running around Central City saving people. He wasn't the Flash. This new speedster and savior of Central City was actually Wally West. He was the Flash of Flashpoint, even though he was referred to as Kid Flash, which he didn't seem to appreciate one bit. But obviously, since we have returned from the Flashpoint timeline to this slightly altered but overall pretty damn similar timeline, everything is basically back to normal in regards to speedsters. Apart from Jesse Quick obviously, but that wasn't due to Flashpoint, that was due to just dormant metahuman powers. Over the past couple of episodes though, Wally has alluded to possible visions caused by Dr. Alchemy in regards to his Kid Flash life in Flashpoint. As we know, and as it has been established throughout this season, Dr. Alchemy has the ability to give people in the timeline we are in at the moment the metahuman abilities of their Flashpoint counterparts, and lures them in through dreams and visions and stuff like that. We have seen this with the Rival in episode 2, as well as Magenta in episode 3. Now over the past couple of days, the description or synopsis for episode 6 of The Flash Season 3 was released, which contains some very interesting reveals. So as I said, this is episode 6, and the episode is entitled Shade, which will be a point to bring up later on, and the description goes like this. When Wally starts having dreams about being Kid Flash, Barry realizes he has to tell Wally, Iris, and Joe about what happened to Wally in Flashpoint in order to keep him safe. Now one quick thing to bring up is that Flash is actually taking a break after the next episode, which is episode 5, which airs on November the 1st in America. So it's taken a 2-week break and will be back on November 15th for episode 6. Now I think on November 8th, it's election day in America, so I'm pretty sure that's why they're not airing. Correct me if I'm wrong if you're in America, but I'm pretty sure that's why. But not all the shows are taking a break in that week. Arrow, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow all have an episode out in that week that Flash isn't on. But then they all have a week or two off before the crossover episodes, I'm pretty sure. And then Flash is on TV until the crossovers. I don't think it takes another break before the crossovers. Anyway, back to that description for episode 6. It is a pretty simple one to go through, as it really only goes over one thing, but we will break it into 2 just to make it easier. The first thing is, when Wally starts having dreams about being Kid Flash. With these dreams, it would be pretty cool if we did get some new footage of Kid Flash, but I am just expecting to see fast cuts of footage that we saw in episode 1. However, I am expecting for Wally to see his death. Well, at least him getting impaled by the Rival. We know that when the Rival was getting his visions and dreams, he saw not only his death, but where it took place and who was around him at the time when it happened. So if Wally does see all of this, he will know that Barry was around him at that time in Flashpoint, and he knew that Wally was this speedster and Flashpoint, and that he could be a victim of Dr. Alchemy's, which could be another issue for Barry for, keeping his mouth shut. But this leads on to the second part of that description where Barry realizes he has to tell Wally, Iris, and Joe about what happened to Wally in Flashpoint in order to keep him safe. What I think will lead to this is that Barry will know what the Rival went through and experienced, about how he got visions of himself with speed, as well as his death and seeing Barry there, as well as the fact that he saw how crazy it sent the Rival. Dr. Alchemy wouldn't be giving these dreams and visions to Wally just for him to be a hero. He would want him to be a villain, or at least a menace to Barry. So Barry will need to try and get in between Wally and this potential dark path he could be heading down. Also, one last thing to go over in regards to this episode. The episode title is called Shade. Now this could be hinting at something completely different or something else in this episode, but there is actually a character called The Shade in the comics who started off as a Flash villain before working on the side of good as well. So he's sort of a neutral between good and bad. He has the ability to control darkness and shadows and use that to teleport and even build stuff out of shadows. It's sort of weird. He might not be involved in this episode, but I thought I would bring it up, just saying that the episode is called Shade and that The Shade was a villain of The Flash. But thanks for watching, guys. If you did enjoy the video, it'd be very much appreciated if you could leave a like on it. Let me know in the comment section below, are you looking forward to this episode? What are you looking forward to the most? I know it sucks that there's a break before this episode, But hopefully at the end of episode 5 we get a cool little, cliffhanger to keep us going over that break. It could be something to do with Caitlin, or it could be something to do with Wally. But either way, I'm pretty excited for it. If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you later guys. Goodbye.